The regulations are there for a reason. You're transporting dangerous goods, and there are certain guidelines that you should follow when shipping it. But outside of that as well, it's about safety of transporting the issues, and it's about compliance. The most stringent regulations in the history of the 49 CFR were imposed on oxidizers because of the ValueJet crash 592 in 1996. ValueJet, during the decommissioning of oxygen generators, had, I believe, Sabre Tech exhaust the generators outside of the airplane, of course. They thought that they were going to be benign and good, but put them in a box in a compartment underneath the airplane that didn't have a halon system in it. Generators, whenever they are exhausting their oxygen, will also get very, very hot. So hot that it can ignite paper products around it. So I'm assuming it was in a cardboard box, also adjacent to other things that were easily ignitable, causing a fire that ultimately went further and further and got larger and larger, very close to a tire that was also being shipped in that same compartment. An explosion obviously ensued thereafter, and the tragic accident happened, causing the incident that changed regulations forever. After the ValueJet crash, there was something that was pre-regulations called the HM224B, in which they evaluated from the NTSB what had happened to the airplane, and knowing that they had to somehow regulate oxidizers in a different way. The ramifications of them changing how you shipped oxidizers in the 49 CFR was actually much different than any other dangerous goods. From the regulations, three critical things changed. One is it had the ATA 300, which is a drop test that's more stringent than the UN already had imposed on most dangerous goods. It's actually 280 drops on one single case, so a lot more robust than anything else in the regulation. Second one was a flame penetration test that mimicked the cargo liner burn through that already existed. To give you an example, at 1700 degrees, the aluminum on this case will liquefy within about 5 to 10 seconds. So the only thing stopping that fire from penetrating is actually the stack up of acro, a proprietary material that we have here at Americase that keeps that flame at bay. And the last one is a thermal test, where you had to actually keep the heat inside the container below 199 degrees in an oven to make sure that it didn't exhaust its oxygen during a fire. So to pass all three of these regulations, Americase had to create a very robust, very strong packaging. And Americase has been lucky enough to design and develop two unique containers, one in our super box for compressed oxygen to be specific, and our fiberboard box for chemical oxygen generators. Americase has been in business for a lot of years shipping high value equipment, but oxidizers was the first dangerous good that we ever decided to create a packaging around. I think a customer should utilize Americase's packaging because they are the best in class. Our oxygen generator box is probably the only lay-flat solution on the market. Our shipping containers can last very, very long in the field. We have some of our first cases that are still deployed today. They will outlast any of our competitors. So when shipping oxygen by air, please reach out to Americase. Let us guide you through the regulations and sell you a very robust, strong packaging that you can feel safe when you're shipping your dangerous goods.